Hi everyone. This is the video lecture on your expository essay as the second essay you will write in our OGT essay unit. Before we begin, I want to remind you that you do have a worksheet, the expository writing notes, that go along with this video lecture. You can use Notability if you prefer, but I would like all of your answers to be in a different color font, and this should be submitted to Schoology prior to class beginning tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get started. Expository writing. The purpose of expository writing is to explain a topic. So you explain by providing a certain type of information. Expository writing helps us to learn more about the world around us. You can explain how something works or why something happened. And it is important to remember that when planning for an expository essay, you may want to ask yourself general questions like who, what, when, where, why, and how about your subject. So there are actually different types of expository essays. There's the basic expository, the process, the cause and effect, and the comparison and contrast. So I'm going to guess that you have probably written some type of essay on this slide before, even if you didn't realize it was an expository essay. But either way, we are going to talk about each one of these essays today. So the basic expository essay is written to inform or to explain about a particular topic, and it includes an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. For any expository essay you write, you will have a 1-paragraph introduction, a 3-paragraph body, and a 1-paragraph conclusion, so you will always end up with a 5-paragraph essay. So if you were writing a basic expository essay or composition about an animal, you might choose the Labrador Retriever, and you would need to address the who, what, when, where, why, and how for each of the aspects of the lab. So the who would be the Labrador Retriever itself, the what would be addressing the size of labs, their weight, their colors, their personality, and their lifespan. The when of the expository essay would be when you feed labs, when to play with them. The where would be the origin of the Labrador, where the Labrador Retriever actually originates from. The why would be the benefits of owning a lab, and the how would address things like how to treat for specific diseases and special puppy care for Labradors. Now, each one of your expository essays will have a thesis statement, and if you don't remember from last year, the thesis statement will always be the last sentence in your introductory paragraph. The thesis will address the main point or idea that you are trying to prove, as well as summarizing the topic and purpose of your essay in one sentence, and including the general topic, your focus, and supporting points. So, just a reminder that your thesis will always be one sentence in length. It will not be any longer. If you like to look at formulas, I have provided a formula for a thesis statement for you, which would be a specific subject plus a specific feature, feeling, or stand to make one thesis sentence. So again, if you are writing about Labrador Retrievers, your sentence might be, the Labrador Retriever is an interesting breed of dog. Learning about this dog can help anyone who wants a lab for a pet. The second type of essay we're going to talk about is the process essay, and the purpose is to explain how to do something or how to make something. So a process essay can include an explanation of how something works, such as how the heart pumps blood through the body, or how a tiny computer chip processes many bits of information. Again, it will always consist of an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. In addition, a process essay would need to focus on step-by-step instruction. It would be incredibly important to have a clear and logical sequence, and in order to do that, it would also be important to have frequent transitional words that would help the reader from one step to the next. Now, if you were writing a process essay, you of course would have a 5-paragraph essay, but here is an example of just one paragraph to kind of give you an idea of the expectation. You can follow several easy steps to cut the cost of groceries. First, purchase generic or store brands of groceries instead of the popular brands advertised on television or magazines. Cereal, peanut butter, and canned vegetables with store brand labels are usually of the same quality as widely advertised national brands. Next, clip money-saving coupons from newspapers and magazines to save on your grocery bill. Thirdly, buy groceries in bulk sizes to cut per item expenses. Furthermore, shop for fresh fruits and vegetables when they are in season to reduce your grocery bill. Finally, bring a shopping list with you to the supermarket and stick to it. And this way, you will avoid buying something on impulse, which can raise your grocery bill. So again, in this paragraph, you can see that there are several steps and also several transitional words such as first, next, thirdly, furthermore, and finally. The next essay we're going to talk about is a cause and effect essay. The purpose is to explain relationships between issues, ideas, or events. So we have a cause, which then has an effect, which is then a cause for another effect, and so on. So if you forget to put the trash out on Tuesday, the effect is that the trash can fill up and spill over, which then is the cause for an effect of a bad smell, which then attracts raccoons, rats, and other animals. So for every cause, there is an effect, and so on. The next essay we're going to talk about is one that should be pretty familiar to you, the comparison and contrast essay. The purpose is to explain the similarities and differences between two things or ideas. So, you are presenting a new view of things, people, or ideas by comparing, showing how they are alike, and contrasting, showing how they are different from each other. You can provide more understanding or new insights about a topic by doing this, and when you compare and contrast, you have to make sure that they have something in common, or else it's not a compare and contrast essay at all. And this should look very familiar to you. This is a Venn diagram that is often used when we are looking at comparing and contrasting. So for example, if we were comparing cats and rabbits, in the middle we would have similarities that cats and rabbits share, and then outside we would have the differences between cats and rabbits. So just a couple reminders on introductions and conclusions. Your introduction or your introductory paragraph should always grasp your reader's attention, and it should always introduce the topic so that your reader knows what the rest of your essay will be about. You must always have a thesis statement. It should always be one sentence in length, and it should always be the last sentence of that introductory paragraph. And for your conclusion, whatever main points you are making in those 3 body paragraphs, you should make sure to reiterate once again in order to wrap up all of your main points and to leave the reader with something to think about. And that is the conclusion of our video lecture on expository writing. Once again, make sure that you complete the expository writing notes assignment and submit to Schoology before class tomorrow. Have a great day.